What's crack-a-lackin', boys and girls? How are y'all doing today? It's your boy, Z-Rex, coming at you live. What is today? I don't know. It's like October something, getting close to the spookiest day of the year. Good old Halloween this weekend. Oh, one of my favorite holidays. Fun to dress up and act stupid and have some fun with the kiddos. It's good things. Anyway, hope y'all are having a wonderful day so far. Well, let's just go ahead and jump into it. 10/26, 2021, your boy. Let's get into some price action. All right, I can't really remember. This is like 3 days ago. We did the video. Let's see what the weekly closed like last week. Not very sexy. Definitely don't like that close. I mean, it technically is above all these bodies, so that's the only thing it kind of has going for it. Otherwise, it's pretty much a rejection type candle, but you know, it's kind of trying to get follow through. I don't know, not to the downside, but to the upside. It's kind of weird, interesting candle structure to put in this zone here. It would have been a lot better if this thing could have just closed, you know, above, let's say like 60, what is this, 4-ish? Like somewhere in the 64 handle would have been a lot more sexy. Don't really like this kind of little rejection here. And we do have this VWAP from here. And if you don't know what the VWAP is, you can just, it's a tool on this list up here. You can go anchored VWAP on the bottom. It's on my starred list. And it's a really useful tool. You can click on any candle you want, and it will do VWAP calculations from that point only. So, just for example, if you wanted to see, well, here's our local swing low right here, right? You got the higher high against these, so we can put this on there. Oh, damn, we're actually below that too. So that kind of is interesting. And there's different ways to look at this. You can change it to, you know, close, open, high, low, all the same kind of things, blah, 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 whatever. I just leave it on close. But this is kind of interesting little setup here. Not really that great for the bulls. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's kind of a more difficult. Like we talked about in the last video, I don't like that we came in below here and then we kind of are consolidating around the mama, but we're having problems getting above this VWAP here. We had 4 attempts to do it, and we have a little spinny candle with some follow through. So the bears are saying to the bulls, nah, bitch, if you're below 63, you ain't got shit. So that's a little bit concerning. And we've got pretty neutral on DMI and everything there, so nothing too crazy on that. Let's go to the weekly again. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the weekly high time frame does look pretty good. How about monthly? Monthly does close in about 5 days. This might be a pretty important monthly candle. If we can close above this little cluster over here, like about 59,000, that would actually look pretty damn good for a test, probably to 80 over the next couple of months. Maybe it does put in the 80K by the end of the year target. Let's look at the daily here. We got, that sucks. We're back below these closing levels. Look at that. And that's right where we're just talking about the 63 area, 63 handle. And that's what we're getting this resistance to from here. So below 63, I would be extra cautious on this. I don't like the reads kind of on the oscillators either. Not my favorite. Super, super neutral. So I'm definitely going to be very cautious on this guy here. Let's see if futures are agreeing with us. Yeah, look at this. We didn't even get to the VWAP on the futures, and we're below the mama. And I do put more weight on the futures chart than I do on spot price. So I guess the one good thing on the higher time frames is it is above the 10 simple. Just came to test it, kind of deciding what it wants to do. So the daily does look a little bit better on the futures. Last week's candle, man, super tight, little kind of nasty little shooting star doji, and it did not close above here, and kind of, man, but man, that's just like close enough. Man, what a What a crappy weekly candle to close. Not really giving us any direction. So the 3 hour is starting to look kind of rough on the futures. Not even being able to get to the VWAP up here. And the daily is like a little bit better because it's right on the 10 simple and it still has oscillators mostly in its favor. So pretty kind of bifurcated, a little bit all over the place. I don't like this candle here. This is pretty brutal. And it's kind of dictating so far price action. And technically this is starting to make lower lows and lower highs on the low time frame. So again, kind of agreeing that it's a little bit... I mean, it's just a little bit cautious here. The lower time frames are like just slightly concerning on both futures and on spot price. So let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum, not so much. Let's start from the weekly. We'll go top down here. Weekly closed good. See, weekly on Ethereum looks much, much better. Daily also, I mean, totally different ball game. Ethereum looks so much better than Bitcoin on pretty much all the time frames. The 458 on the daily. Wow, yeah, just kind of everything. How's this monthly looking? Wow, okay. Well, monthly would really need, I think I would really like to see it close above 44.20. Hell yeah. That would probably get us to like almost 5K pretty fast. And then we have targets up here at 7 and almost 10K. Now, I don't think that that's in the cards very anytime soon. Why does this look like that? This is crazy. Because of my wheels. Sometimes when I go over like this and I'm scrolling, see how it moved. That happens sometimes. You can just double click on the scale and it'll reset it. Anyway, kind of just barely holding on here. Momentum on RSI is pretty whack. It's just super sideways in this, but I mean, most of this is sideways action inside of the gigantic doji candle here. I mean, that thing goes all the way to 37 up to 44, so that's a huge range. What is that? 15% range. So I'd say really until it kind of either breaks this trend line here or breaks above this wick, it's probably just kind of consolidating and squeezing up. The good news is we won't have to wait much longer for resolution, as this will be applying pressure, and pretty much this should resolve by the end of the week. So that's nice. We don't have to wait too long. Let's go to futures. Futures looking pretty good. Last week, pretty lackluster, right on this little trend line. Oh, sorry if I didn't hit the button. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. My apologies if I didn't. Anyway. Yeah, the 4... Oh, wait. We're not on spot. We need to be on spot for that one. Thought it looked funny. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty damn bullish. Like, Ethereum does look better. Low time frames aren't sagging like Bitcoin. And I guess that's a little more concerning just because Bitcoin led this rally, so that it's stalling out already is a little concerning. But the Ethereum, just based by itself, looks pretty damn good still, above about, 4K, like 40, 50-ish. Still looks pretty fine. So that's interesting, a little different there. How about Litecoin? Charlie, what are you doing over here? I don't think he does anything with this, but... consolidating at the tops here. I mean, this is not terrible. I mean, I like this as long as it's holding about 188. This looks pretty good. We don't want to go sideways for too much longer. Maybe another couple of days. But again, with Ethereum getting the pressure, we probably are going to see some resolution on these charts here later this week. It's only Tuesday, so we got plenty of time. I mean, look, XRP just can't even get out of its own way. Pretty interesting. On that note, one of the things that I'm a little concerned about in this run is like the good stuff that was running before, Cardano, and I'm not saying good, whatever, if the project's good. No, I'm just talking pure price action. Some of the concerns is like just garbage is pumping. There are a couple outliers, but a lot of the stuff isn't pumping with this, and it's just kind of going sideways, and it's just like Shiba and these garbage ass tokens, Elon, Dogelon, or whatever. All the superest trash is rallying, so I don't know. It's a little bit concerning that some of the other players aren't in this right now. And that kind of goes across the board, so I don't know. This is definitely some type of descending triangle forming right here. If we take a conservative move, looks like it'll probably put us at the... Oh, wow, that target's sub $1. So this is an interesting formation on XRP. This is definitely a descending triangle type pattern. We don't really see it on the daily, so you kind of have to look at it in the medium low time frames. But that is definitely real. Any one of these, like 458, probably even a 4-hour, I bet does it. I usually don't go to the 4-hour, but let's check it out. Oh yeah, it's clear as day on the 4-hour. Very, very clear. Boom, bam. Any 4-hour close back below, like, man, how funny, it's the same damn number we've been talking about for weeks, or not weeks, well, actually, yeah, at least a couple of weeks. 106, 105, we get a 4-hour, 5, 6, 8-hour, whatever your kind of favorite is. My favorite's the 458 for these. That's about an 8-hour if you don't have the pro or paid subscription stuff for TradingView. But yeah, so you got this going. So man, any closure below 106, this thing's probably going to go to $1 if it does that. And I really can't even get bullish on this until we see another attempt by the bulls to get over like 114. So pretty lackluster by Garlic Bread here. He's not cooking too hot right now. Man. All right, so look, maybe the bulls are trying to reverse this here with this next little high. Before it was just kind of even lower highs mostly and even lows. And now we're trying to make a higher high here against this. So maybe XLM's trying to pull itself out of this. But man, being right up against all this resistance and support flip-flopping, which is about, what is this, 38 we've been talking about? Yeah, about 38, 39. And really just sub 40, it's kind of like, man, this is a tough area right here to get too exciting. I do like how it's consolidating right here. It is nice. It's great on the technicals. Pure price action and looking left, there's lots of overhead resistance, and really like to see the bulls get a daily close above 40 cents. If they could muster up the strength to do that, I would look for us to come test in this box here between 44 and 50 pennies on this biatch. ETC just slow grinding. I mean, this is boring as hell. What the hell, ETC? I don't really have much to say about this. It's in this tight range right here at like 51 and about 56. I mean, until it really gets out of that, there's not really much to do with this. Dot. This candle is a little bit ugly right here. The one time bulls did start trying to attempt to break even this consolidation, they got slapped. And now we are below the 200. So it's a little bit heavy, but it's also just sandwiched, man. So again, I'm just going to default to that about 51 and 56 area. Until we get out of that, it's kind of a meh burger. So DOT is kind of doing this slow drift, this little, I don't know if there's a name for this pattern exactly. It's just like a flag, but it has like a traditional flag is usually something like this, or like a pennant, it's something like this. Sometimes they do just go sideways. And I've noticed a lot of times when they do like this, up, and then kind of this way and squeeze up, these usually follow through to the upside, and it's kind of like that. It has been going on a little bit longer. You usually don't want the pole. The pole should be longer than the flag part of it. And depending exactly how you drew that, like I just showed you the two different ways that you could probably draw that. I would more take it from right here though. This consolidation on top of here, I'd kind of do like this, and boom, boom. So it's getting a little bit extended. So pure price action will be probably the best way to look at this. Anything above 40, it's good. And really though, it needs to get above this 44 level to really get the chance to make this breakout pattern and probably go to 50 and beyond if it did resolve to the upside on this guy. But it's kind of funky, man. Kind of weird markets. Even look like this one too. I mean, look at this. Could this get any more tight? I mean, I don't think it can. That's pretty much to the apex. It's got till the weekend. So there's another chart that shows like probably some good resolutions this weekend, and I'm definitely looking for that. So it's a hurry up and wait thing. There is nothing to do with this chart. It is just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze fest. Linky Poo, what are you doing? Linky is actually breaking out here. It's pretty damn sexy above the 30 handle. It does kind of look like it wants to come and take a stab at 35 again. Let's zoom in. Yeah, I don't have no problems with this chart. This one looks a little bit better. I like how the bulls are able to come back above this little swing high, and we actually come back above it, and we're retesting it right now. So as long as I'm going to ratchet that up to 31. As long as we're holding about 31, this actually looks pretty good. So Link showing a little bit of relative strength. EOS, absolute whack chart in the middle of everything. I mean, all the EMAs are within, like, what is this, $1? Yeah, lame. BCH, same thing. I thought I was going to be able to get going the last video, but now we have Ultimate Zero Vol, this red flash. So there's a big move coming up that's adding to later this week resolution. We're seeing that kind of in a few charts now. So very interesting. Don't want anything to do with this chart myself. BSV trying to do something cool, broke the trend line. So it was like, oh, crap. But then it's just like, oh, nothing burger. Just meh burger. Oh, my God. Look at this. Sideways. Super sideways action. I mean, until we make another high above 180, I don't think it's super great. Because you have the 200 and the 377 and this little swing high all right there at the upper 180s. I think 180 above that probably gets us to test it, the mid and upper 180s. But, man, there's a lot of pressure from the bears atop this range. And you can see that goes all the way back to the sell-off in May. So it's going to be a little difficult for the bulls to do that. And right now they're just showing, like, no attempts at all. I mean, this is some pussy shit right here. What is this? Come on. Oh, XMR, look at that, getting squeezed. Very nice close. Let's go. I did not see that one happen. All right, XMR is actually looking pretty cool here. I like XMR above the mid-upper 270s. Looks pretty sexy. Let's zoom in. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, wow, all right, so XMR actually looks pretty damn good. The only major resistance point that we've got right now is the mama and this swing high at about 300-ish, give or take $10, which is funny because that's about right where it's getting rejected right now. So 290 maybe is a real important level. We get over 290 on a daily close, we probably test 310-ish in this upper end of the range. And maybe even work our way up to 350. I mean, this is starting to set up to be a little bit better. I like the oscillators. I like the weekly. No, actually, the weekly isn't my least favorite. I'm sorry. Because you got this damn mama weekly right here. Also agreeing with the 290, 300 area. So, but so far, it looks pretty good breaking out of this trend line. Let's see if we can get some more momentum on this biatch. And maybe get our way up to 350-ish. Anything back below, let's zoom in. Anything back below like 270, 275, I would consider this a failed breakout, and I'd look for it to test the other end of the range. ZEC, what are you doing, Zcash? Zcash has been rallying pretty good. It looks like some of the steam has come out of Zcash and gone to Monero. It's almost the same day that this little rejection candle happened at the top of the local top of the range. Terrible candle to see. You wanted to see this close above at least this 180 area. Didn't get it. We're retesting the trend line now. This is the last line of defense for the bulls. So can they hold here? This is pretty critical level for them to test. Anything back below this daily 200, I would consider this kind of a busted breakout. And we'd have to look for some resolution on there. Dash. Dash is actually kind of slow grinding up. I kind of like this little chart right here. 200 and this horizontal at 220 is like right above us, but it is building a pretty damn decent base here. And let's see, we've got this trend line too that we can definitely clearly see, something like that. And it's not super vertical either. Hopefully it doesn't give it up like this last one did. So you can see almost the same angle, degree, just bloop, and just totally dump fest out of nowhere. So a lot of really, really tight, what do we got here, $30 range and all the EMAs. So big move is probably coming again. A lot of that seems to be the narrative here with these charts we're looking at. So for this weekend resolution type stuff, we're going to need to extend our box over. Coming up, rejection so far on the Bitcoin pairing, but this does look like it's trying to base out here. This looks pretty good on the Bitcoin pair. Doge dollar pair is actually trying to get good, but there is no momentum on this rally. Yeah, there's nothing. It can't even get over 25, even with these pumps. I will say staying above 25 pennies is a good thing. The longer it does that, another couple of days, we'll get reset on the oscillators. I would like to see some type of better momentum, you know, just even on either of the sides. So pretty interesting chart here. Above 25, it's fine, but it really has got to clear this zone here that we've had marked for a while, this 27 to 30 cent zone. That is the critical bullish pivot point for me. And I won't get super bullish on Dogecoin until we start closing at least one or two open and closes above 30 cents. We do that. We get like, especially if we get 3 days open and close above 30 cents, that really starts to open the doors up here to this 42, which is the 618 retracement from this sell-off here. So not too bad. Bull still got some work to do. Hexy. Hex just looks kind of garbage. Bears are definitely making themselves known. You could argue this is some type of bear flag right here too. I mean, they've got the momentum. A lot of volume just came in on these two candles. Interesting place for some volume to kick in. Man, any daily close back below 26.66, the devil's number. I would probably look for a test to the 200 daily. Conversely, it just really needs to break this trend line and at least get back into this consolidation box right here. We're going to bring that over to the trend line. At least like start playing around in this box. I mean, until we do either one of those things, it doesn't really look that good. All right, let's go to traditional markets, the real markets. Not this fake internet magic money crap. Setting up, man, pretty swift rejection. Hold on, this is interesting because I was watching earlier and it looked nice. Crack time frames we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, so rallied out the gate. New highs, everything's awesome. Maybe some type of news event. Because this is pretty vertical down. That would be my guess. I don't care about the news, so whatever, it doesn't matter to me what the news is. We're still looking pretty good. I still like this candle, and as long as we're kind of above this 45-40 area, I mean, there's nothing really wrong with the chart. I will say the 3 hour is putting in a little bit of toppiness with this doji and follow through. This thing still does have 2 hours to close, and you can see there was a similar one here. Although, to be fair, the main difference is doji follow through, but the wick on this candle actually did take out this wick here. We're not getting that here, so that's a little bit extra sign of weakness. And as we kind of sit here, we're going to be in this like no man's land on the 3 hour between the 21 and the 10 simple, which is about a 15-point range. So maybe this is a buy the effing dip opportunity. I won't be taking it for that yet. I don't know. I don't like this setup as much. It would have been nicer if this 3 hour wicked up a little bit up to the upper end of the range before selling off. This is pretty brutal. And on the 7 hour, we're actually below the 200 again. So, interesting. Interesting candle setup. Let's see how this daily closes. If it closes like this is definitely a rejection candle, which would be an interesting place for this to actually happen. The one thing that is also interesting is this is straight vertical, man. Like, look at this. Vertical, boom, 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 boom. Starts tapering off. Boom, one more. And if we get this will start to stink like a little trap, like a little bull trap. You got the nice momentum, volume's tapering off, momentum's tapering off. One last hurrah on lower volume than the pumps. And then this candle here. Yeah, not the best setup. We'll go to the 850. Sometimes that one gives raging clues. Oh, man. Okay, looks like the bears are trying to attempt to retest the previous all-time high, which would not be a bad thing. That would actually be a good thing. We would like to see that because you don't want to just go straight up all the time. So let's put also the VWAP on the downside of this swing low. Oh, it's way down here. Wow, it's like 44. Low 44s. Okay. Yeah, so this is pretty extended. Interesting. So if we close like this, I would look for a retest of the highs and maybe even a little bit lower, like upper 44s, 44.80-ish. Pretty interesting chart, though. Let's go to Nasdaq. What's it doing? Man, rejection. This is way uglier because we're not at highs. Way more ugly. Is this also at an 886? Let's see. It is at an 886. So that extra sucks because that's generally like that's where a lot of traps happen is the 886. So that actually is a little bit concerning on Nasdaq. Yeah, there must have been some kind of info that comes out, but who cares? I don't even want to say that and put that out there because it doesn't matter. The charts know everything before news, almost 90-something% of the time. But anyway, nasty 3-hour, getting the follow through, kind of the same posturing as ES, but not at all-time highs. So this is worse looking. But until it gets back below like 15.3, it's not terrible. Any daily closure, probably even any price action below 15.3 is going to get us to test into the mama here, the little saucer, or maybe even all the way down to the horizontal pivot point. Dow, what are you doing, Dow? Dow isn't looking as bad, but still getting that sell-off. Yeah, there must have been some kind of thing that happened here. Let's go to RUT. RUT also in the RUT. Hold on, I need to look at a position that I have on now. Oh, I'm actually going to take that off. I have a little short RUT right now. Well, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm going to leave that on because it's in the money. Man, some stuff's selling off. I'm giving up some of the gains. It's funny because when I got pretty large positions. I got to like 50. I'm sorry, 50. I was reading a number out loud as I read that. I was noticing that I got up to almost 20 positions, and a lot of times when that happens, there's selling pressure that comes in the market. It's kind of funny. I don't know why, but this is a crazy pattern here. Open up, dump, pump, dump. I mean, this is interesting. And we are back below 23.5, so what the hell? What the hell, man? That's not good for Russell. That's setting up for rejection stuff. But again, it does need to close back below 23 and ultimately get back below. Oh my gosh, excuse me. And ultimately back below this trend line in the mama would be ideal for the bears at about 22.9. Interesting place to stall, and we're getting vol flashes too the last 2 days. So again, man, so not only in crypto, but in markets too, we're getting some interesting signals of big resolutions this week. Speaking of weekly, let's go look at that. Interesting, because it technically did not make a higher close here. It's even slightly lower, and we still got 3 days. Man, if this weekly smashes back down and goes back below 22 mid-80s, that's going to look pretty ugly. Bulls really just need this to hold right around where it is now. I think an even price below 22.90 is going to be pretty fugly. Let's see here. Yeah, Dow Jones, this chart, I do not understand why this is happening. This looks like a shit coin. I mean, DMI is at 45 on the Dow Jones index. Like, when was even the last time that happened? Let's go check it out. But damn, let me put a horizontal there at the 40s. The 44, 44, 5. All right, and let's double click. Or actually, we can see it pretty good right here. And then it took a big dump on itself right here. Consolidated, continuation. Right here pretty much was the end of the move before a massive rollover. Right here, continuation. Right here, continuation, but sideways for a while, for like shit, for most of the year. Interesting place. Okay, this is actually super interesting that we're way up here like this. I'm not sure. I hate that it's this vertical. I mean, this is like shitcoin vertical right here. So I'm not really sure exactly how to dissect this. This is confusing to me. Any thoughts or something, please put them in the comment section, because I'm curious about other people's opinions on this one. Very, very odd. VIX, look at this. VIX is trying to say, nuh-uh. Look at it clustering the last week on this trend line that it's respected for so long. Going all the way back to fall of 2017. And look at it just sitting right on it. This is interesting to me. We start seeing VIX get back above 17 bucks. I'd be real cautious of a little sell-off popping off. Same thing, clustering right on the 100. This is a very important threshold, around 100 on VVIX. I've noticed volatility spikes come out of nowhere. More likely, they do come out of nowhere when, oh, wow, and there's a vol flash on this too for the, like, 3 days. Ooh, wow, interesting. And vol flashes do not happen often on VVIX. You can see the last one was right here in November 2019. And there's a pretty big pump on that. And then the last one looks like there's one here. Right there on May 17, which also had a giant pump on it. Here's one too, also big giant pump. Here's one too, also big giant pump. Wow, another one, pump, another one, a little bit of a pump. It ended up getting one, but this one's the slowest one. It was about 70 days later, but initially sooner than that, within a couple weeks, it did have a little 20% pump. Let's keep going back. I think that's it. Wow, so every single time we saw at least a 20% pump on the VVIX. Where would that put us? Right here, if we kind of do it. Let's just do it from the lower end of this range. I mean, that puts us back in the middle of the range at 120, so that's very interesting. If we saw that, we could probably see VIX at 20 bucks or so. Maybe even low 20s. Interesting charts here that we're seeing some warnings that there's something maybe in the future here that's going to get ugly, yeah? Oil, you cannot stop oil. Gas prices, I'm sure y'all have seen, suck ass. It blows. It's just... We're already at $3, a little over $3 in Texas, which usually has the cheapest gas, and our all-time high here is like 380s, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna break before too long. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. The way that this has been happening, the clip, the rate, it's like, I mean, we probably will have. I don't want that to happen. Obviously, it sucks, but you know, we're probably gonna be seeing that in. Oh, excuse me. We're probably going to be seeing that in, like, what, by the beginning of the year? Man. I mean, if it keeps doing what it's doing, it's been going up, like, I don't know, what, 5 cents every week or something? That's what it seems like. I mean, look at this chart. Straight vertical. I mean, this is in bull mode all the way. It's been that way for a long time. We've been really bullish oil since this little breakout right here and retest of the trend line cross. And also just all the oscillators, everything looking super sexy. And our first target was, you know, about the upper 70s. And then it just said, whatever, bitch, we're going all the way to 82. Thought we'd get some resistance there. And now we just, look at this. These tails are all getting bid up back above $82. So if we're above 82, bulls have got it, period. as of right now, that's just the game. So there's nothing. That's an easy chart to read. To me, oil energy is buy on pullbacks every single time, pretty much, until we see a change in behavior, and we haven't seen that now for a couple of months almost. So nat gas, kind of sloppy. This could be distribution right here. I would be a little cautious with nat gas. Yeah, so the daily, we definitely have a little bit of sloppy sideways action. Bulls really need to make a new closing high above 620. If they did that, then this would probably get continuation to the upside. Any price back below $5, I'd start to question this, and it would start. It would start turning into a distribution-esque look there. Bonds. So this is interesting. If VIX is going to pop, you can see, too, the bulls are trying to get back and fight into the neutral zone here after being in the weak zone and attempted to go into the forgotten zone for a day. And so now we're getting a retest. You know, bonds might actually be something to look at as a trade. Let's look at TLT real quick. Yeah, look at that. TLT actually made a higher low already off of that. And it actually made a higher high. Interesting. Look at that. Let's go back to ZB. Yeah, so TLT is actually saying that we're based out here. And, man, we might be stabbing up to upper 140s on this. Interesting chart here. Okay. I like this weekly, too, right here. That's nice. Right in the middle of the mama saucer. Right almost by this cross. And horizontal. This is an interesting spot. This is probably a pretty decent place. I might actually try to work an order on TLT here in a second after I wrap this show up, which will be very soon. Interesting. All right. So, ZN. Not so interesting. Looks like shit. Looks okay above this 160. Have we hit this measured move and then some? Yes, we've doubled it almost. Nice. You can see we hit it within a week after getting out of there. But, man, bulls are super powerful in this. I wouldn't even be considering any major downside until we breached 156 on the TNX. Nice rally on Dixie here. Not super great on the internals, just very neutral, actually. 3 hours trying to turn around. I'm going to give that a little bit of credit, but below $94, it's kind of meh. I do like that we retested kind of these swing highs, so that's good for bulls. See if they can get some continuation. I just don't see anything in oscillators. It's kind of just in the middle. Need some more time on that one. Obviously, this is going to get a little pressure. Probably need some more time on this. Kind of just neutral, just chilling. Retesting the tops of that consolidation. DAX has just been ripping face off too. It's almost, oh man. Right up here on this horizontal. This horizontal looks very important. Oops. Right about there. So until we're back above that, I can't get super bullish. Nice bounce though off the 200 and coming up over the mama. Maybe we get a little sell off into the flat base here. A few hundred points lower before continuing. That would look actually really sexy for the bulls. Right now, it's kind of stretched up in the last few days. Bulls really attempting to get up over this 15.8. That's the pivot point. We get a few daily open and closes above there. We're going to look for, let's look at some measured moves. Ba-dow, ba-doo, ba-ding. Right here, 1618, and we want to get crazy way up here, but that is absolute crazy for now. But hey, you never know. It's clown world, so anything can happen. Shanghai coming up. Oh, vol flash too on Shanghai. Jeebus Christ. Last time that happened was December. Shit, man. So another stock with that. It's interesting that it's in crypto, it's in indices, it's in foreign markets. Man, are we going to get an October surprise here? Is that what's on deck right now? Is that what's on deck? October surprise time? I don't know. Interesting stuff. Gold getting mollywopped. Interesting price action on that. Interesting. Maybe I'll say interesting one more time. Not terrible. Bulls coming in. Let's zoom in. Zoop. They're bouncing off here, you know, about 10 points off that low. Let's zoom out a little bit. I like this defending on the 3 hour. Now the 3 hour really needs to get back above 1800, and we could probably still look for continuation on this. It's still a very nice chart. It's still a pretty nice chart. Bulls are making higher highs and higher lows now for the pretty much the month of October. So that's definitely sexy. I do like that a lot. And we do have kind of this little short-term trend line right about there. So as long as it's kind of riding up this and we're staying above about 1780s, it's okay. And look where we tested, right at 1780s, getting some love. I would like to see the Bulls close back above 1800 even today and definitely by the end of this week. Because you can see this trend line here pretty much by the end of the week. It can go sideways, and then by next week, it pretty much has to do something from there. Yet another chart in that same area. Rejection from this swing high. Attempted breakout last time. Is it going to do it again? Possibly. Closing back below this VWAP and these bodies isn't the sexiest thing. It's only one day, though, so we can't get too bearish on that. We need follow through. And this does have a little bit more aggressive trend line. So really, as long as it's above this trend line, I'm not really too concerned of it. And yes, the EMAs are pretty sloppy. 200s right here, all that jazz, blah, blah, blah. Will this kind of create like some type of inverted head and shoulders on here? It almost looks like it. You kind of have this little, oops, sorry. You almost have this kind of deal going maybe. And that would be right on the trend line. That would be interesting. Measured move on that would be up upper 20s, like 28 bucks. That'd be a substantial move in silver, which would actually put us right at the stupid top of this range. So that is probably pretty likely to happen because it doesn't really break any of the structure anyway. So that would be pretty damn funny. Pretty nice run by silver. So as long as it's up this trend line, I'm not too concerned. Platinum is kind of a little concerning here. I don't like this candle taking out all these previous candles, the previous like week plus. It is right on top of the breakout level, so man, this is kind of a tough read here. And then we do have the trend line and the cross. I mean, it is getting worked by all the technicals every which way. This 3 hour is pretty ugly, to be fair. Man, 1020, which has been a pivot point for us for a while watching this chart. So it's going to be 1020. We get a daily close below 1020, especially an open and close. It's probably coming down to upper nines, like 970s. Conversely, bulls, man, any daily close, I think even just a close above 165, period, probably gets us to run to like a little over 11 hundos. So, interesting chart there. Palladium. Was I saying? I think I might have said palladium. Platinum. Sorry, this is platinum. If I did say that, it's palladium. Oh my God. If I did, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with my brain? If I did say palladium, it's platinum. This is palladium. It's just going sideways. It needs a lot of work still. But it is attempting to put in a base right here. Almost. We don't want to see price close below like 1950, really. That's going to be ugly. GDX, getting a little selling. I might take my GDX off today because that is an interesting development here. And I'm not sure I want to be exposed with the little weakness. I don't like this. It's kind of meh right on the 200. I might just take it off and wait for a couple of days and see how this week closes out, which let's go look at the weekly real quick. Yeah. Damn it. I would actually, yeah, I think I am probably going to take this off and look for maybe a retest of the 32 again and then reload. Let me go look at my notes. What was my trade idea for that? About 35. Yeah, we almost got it. I was targeting 35. We hit 34 and backed off pretty hard, so interesting. All right. Couple things real quick. We're going to look at the blockchain stocks. Look at this. Coinbase. Oh, it's so amazing. This is straight vertical, guys. I do not like this. I think we're probably coming back down to 270s. This is just pretty frothy. Maybe just back to 300, give or take 10 bucks. But I do think this will eventually work its way back down to the top of this box here, because this is a little bit frothy. Oh my gosh, and we look at this. Yep. Just from that price action, and then we have this, the lower high right on the pivot point of the EMA on the RSI. Whenever this is like a really serious form of divergence. If the bears can get this and maintain this for another closure and get back below this low here, I would definitely look for this to test, like probably down again. Wow, how funny that that's lining up to 70s there. So interesting. And then we'll have to reassess from there. But this is just too excited, man. ETF, Coinbase is going to do Diem with Facebook, blah, 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 blah. And then you just get mega pumps. Let's see if GBDC is agreeing with this PAMP. No form of bearish divergence. But you got this lower high, and this is way off the highs. And if you can kind of, you want to see what I'm talking about, if we go to Bitcoin. Let me go back over here. See, look, here's April, made a new high. GBDC made its all-time high here. It did not make an all-time high here. That was a sign that something was off, and this was just a bull trap. So, are we doing that shit again? Is this a mega bull trap? That's definitely something to consider. It's most definitely something to consider. Because look how far off this is from the highs. It's even a lower high from the bull trap last time. That is actually kind of crazy. And this is probably a trend line here. It is. Look at that. Very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, man. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all for bulls on crypto. That makes me a little bit nervous. I'm going to be watching this like a hawk right now. This thing starts losing more momentum, man. We get a 3-hour close below 48 bucks. I best watch out on Bitcoin. There could be some serious swift downside if that happened. Very interesting there. Yeah, Riot doesn't even care about this rally. MicroStrategy sideways the whole time. Oh, it does have, that's because it has earnings. That makes sense. It's got earnings, it looks like, in a couple of days. Yeah, on Thursday it's got earnings. So it's kind of just going sideways in earnings. Ew, man. Danger. Danger. Stranger danger. Man, yeah, I don't know. That's a little concerning. And look where HUD is. Right up on this horizontal. Went right to it. And now what happens? Interesting spots, man. Same here. Previous all-time highs. And look at this. We're not even above it from last time. Very interesting, but we're at new highs on Bitcoin. So there is this divergence between many other things besides Bitcoin, like derivatives of Bitcoin, you could kind of, I guess, call it, or proxies. There we go. Interesting. That is something I had not noticed. The GBDC one is the one that's most concerning for me because GBDC has been around for a long time. Although, it's been around since June 15th. So June of 2015, not June 15th. Blech. Interesting, guys. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. On another note, Overstock is continuing to look pretty damn sexy here. Would like to see the daily close above 84. We get a daily close above 84. Probably comes and tests this trend line officially. Oh, man. Earnings, too, on the 28th. Oof, man. I forgot this is a big, heavy earnings week. Uh-oh. Scary. Watch out. Watch out, man. Something don't smell right about this rally. Planeteer kind of giving it up today. Hey, what the hell? I have Planeteer. Just backed off 4%. You bastard. Damn, did I give up my gains in that? Nah, like a third of them. You bastard. Ah, you some bitch. Alright. I think that's probably it for me today. Everything is kind of starting to slow up a little bit. Let's look at sector majors. Yeah, some big movers to the downside. Retail's down. Banks are selling a little bit. Let's look at the Fangmans, and then I'm signing off. Damn, Facebook continuing to get hammered. Jeebus Christ. Is Facebook going to be a buy sometime here soon? Yeah, maybe. Let's see if we can get down a little bit more, maybe 10, 20 more bucks, and then probably. But damn, look where it is, right on the mama. So maybe it won't get that. The mama is serial. Look where the weekly went, especially on a weekly time frame. The mama's real serious. Yeah, you can see here. Boom. Got front ran there. Cluster. Clustered. Clustered. Rode off of it. Rode off of it. Rode off of it. So, yeah, maybe. Facebook might be getting to a point of getting some long deltas in. Netflix is just stupid, man. Tesla, just stupid. This thing is done. This thing is toast. We talked about this vol flash. We usually get at least 10% moves within the next couple of weeks. Man, that came to fruition real fast, and it actually went up to about 40%. And this had only happened like 6 times. Don't sleep on volatility. Volatility, trend, and then the price structure, super important. Those 3 things is what you got to focus on, I think, to be successful in trading. And don't think about too much. You notice how I didn't say news? Because who cares about news? Oh, yeah, everyone's like, well, yeah, that's why this pump, because Hertz, man. Hertz is going to buy a bunch of EVs, and it's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, cool. It pumped on a bankrupt company buying a bunch of Teslas. Hey, maybe it pulls them out or whatever, and that's good. That's great for Hertz and blah, blah, blah. That's cool. But this thing has already been bullish as hell for freaking... I mean, since we were talking about it breaking out over here. Like, see what I'm saying? The chart already knows, man. It already freaking knows. It's like, this is just like the icing on the cake. If anything, this turns into a sell the news event, especially if you've been long. You know, maybe you're ultra conservative and you didn't get long until here. Or you're aggressive and you did here. But anywhere in this, I mean, it's still great performance. And it's like, oh, now I'm going to get long. These people are trapped. These longs are trapped for sure. And I bet you they will be trapped for a little while. Would be my guess. All right, wrapping this biatch up. Bitcoin. Don't you do it. You struggle right here. The struggle is real. Starting to work its way down. Anything back below 60K. I think if price even just wicks below 60 again, we can't keep just testing it. It's like the water on the, skipping the water on the, oh my God. Skipping the rock on the water. It only can bounce so many times before it falls through. So I think if it even breaches it 60K again, that is not good for the bulls. And the 618 of just this is about 61. So even 61 is starting to threaten it. I think if we breach 61, we might get a little flash, another 500, 600, $700 lower, and the bulls best defend and not let price even wick below 60. I think if we wick below 60, we're probably coming down to 57, 58,000. Ethereum looks a little bit better. Lack of momentum on the oscillators, and it's starting to wane again on the DMI. Not my favorite thing to see. Let's go to crack time frames. And we are getting back below all the EMAs, so that kind of sucks too. Below 4,200 in time, below 4,200 plus time is not a great equation for the bulls. So, and ultimately, though, as long as it's above this trend line, which below 4,200, it only has until Thursday early morning to do something. So, man, we're going to get some resolution this week, guys. So, strap in. We got VIX showing some stuff. We got mark traditionals kind of rolling over a little bit. We've got some funkiness. We got bonds shaping up for looking like they want to pump, which is generally a bearish thing for markets. And so we've got some interesting things and a lot of flashes. We've got a lot of stuff showing that there's going to be a large move coming up on here in the next week or so. So that is very interesting to me. And the monthly does close, I believe, this week, doesn't it? On Friday? Yes, it does, because the 31st is on Sunday. So this is going to technically be the monthly close for traditionals. Not for crypto spot price. That'll be Sunday. But for traditionals, that will be the case. All right, man. Much love. I'll see y'all guys later. Have a wonderful Tuesday. It's been your boy Z-Rex signing out. Peace.